Hello everyone, my name is Yuta Jazz. I don't know why I said that so weird. We're gonna do a little bit of a guided message, pick a pile as usual, 'cause I like the variety and like asking questions on topics and having those answered because then you can pick a topic and kind of go from there and where you are and divine yourself and go through your own healing process. Pickup piles are my favorite. They've really helped me the last few years, so that's why I do pickup piles. I don't do zodiacs. I think zodiacs don't really fit sometimes, or you're gonna pick like any zodiac of the wheel. So yeah, today we're doing a message from Archangel Raziel. That's how I pronounce his name or their name. It is mostly a masculine angel, if not always, I feel like. I think always. And they are the royal archivist of heaven. They're the one that is responsible for the library of all, everything, everywhere, all the time. Not just the Kosh. It's a bit that library is a bit more special. I'll say that not everyone has access to it in whole. There is a public sector, but there's not. Yeah. That being said, they're also one of the princes of heaven, or one of the princes of Heaven's Gate. They look over one of the domains. Not as much anymore as they say, but they're still kind of regarded to have that title. And yeah, very much like Angel I'm familiar with. I would say I'm kind of close to them. So this will be fun. I think this will be very enjoyable. So if I like stop and hum and har and a bunch of other things, I will really kind of, take my time with the messages and listen to what he is kind of like guiding to tell or say or channel or whatever else might be coming through, because that's kind of how it's coming across currently or how we're connecting for this reading. I just can hear him kind of like talking in one ear. And my ear started ringing as soon as I was like, "Are you here to do the reading?" Zing! I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you are. Cool." So let's keep shuffling. That's that's it. We're gonna have 5 piles, as they've said. I don't know why, but 5 piles. Pink cards as well, because pink is cool. So yeah. So yeah, I usually notice Raziel to be of their energy to be of like this bright blue, like almost a cyan blue, but they do also kind of use at occasions rainbow colors or light. But I see light blue for them most of the time. They also kind of have black and white accents occasionally, but that's probably on a bad day. Okay, so I'm guessing today's message is about where you're holding yourself back instead of giving yourself permission and support and going for what you desire and want and being like actually aligned with doing it. Because sometimes, the most important thing about living your life and doing anything is to do what you want or you like, regardless of the results and how you are going along with it, how it's being received, how people are talking about it, how people are viewing you, and just doing it because you love it, because you really enjoy it, and because it brings you satisfaction. It's like a purpose or a calling or just a pleasure, just something you love, right? Something you might be a bit childlike inclined about or dreamy, or it's just your personal hobby, but you love it to the point where you could just do it every day, all day, and you could live off of it. Whatever it is, somewhere you are holding yourself back, and this is going to talk about how to keep on doing what you are dreaming about, wanting to do, what makes you happy, and doing it with more love for yourself, for the craft, for the thing, for the experience, and knowing that that's all that life is about. It's just enjoying yourself to the max as you could. Maybe previously that wasn't the case in life, but now more so than ever, people are called to really explore that and embody that because that is the most important energy, frequency, vibration you could be aligned to these days. It's really important for the shift, for the spiritual energetical revolution we're going through, and even for like practical means of the planet. So yeah. We're gonna do one, two, three, four, five. I hope you had enough time to select it covered, because I will select it uncovered. And yes, sometimes when I do the thumbnails, they're uncovered, sometimes they're covered. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is, okay? Okay. So we have poetry, uninhibited intuition, distance, nourishment, every monster's favorite fruit. Um, this card is intentionally left blank reversed. And ready to roll, loyalty and devotion also reversed. So let's go with pile one, and I'll see you over there. Hello, pile number one. So you chose poetry, which it looks like this. Um, there's more meanings to the cards that I don't know yet. I need to play the game. Whenever I'm gonna actually play the game, I'm not rushing on that. Kind of play in vibes, you know? But Monster Garden Oracle cards start out as a game. The monsters are not bad. They're just beings, I guess is the best way to describe it. And they've come from a Twitch streamers like imagination from their childhood up till now, and they're a grown adult now. And I don't know why I'm saying that. I feel like that might be important to the reading, that might not be. I don't know. We'll see. They're very whimsy in their readings. It's kind of different vibe. Um, W Zach, just gonna advertise him really quickly. I don't think he does Twitch anymore anyway, but that's for whoever wants maybe the cards or game or whatever. But I don't know whatever this being chick is, because it is a chick. I couldn't really put it together or figure it out. Um, I'm not really good with fluid gender like things. I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm pretty sure she has a mustache. That's like like a really puffy mustache. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about being. We'll read the card and see what it says, because I feel like actually it's probably important. We're gonna need to wait a little bit because I'll find it on the internet and then read it, so I don't need to use my phone. Yeah, I think I saved it. So I'm not. I don't know if I'm getting anything. You might be researching something for yourself currently, besides having possible flashbacks or these flashes of images and experiences and notions of like it being like a real thing, like daydreaming about you doing it, you speaking it, you having these experiences, you being in a whole different planet and a whole different body, having experiences doing something that you are somehow researching, either in the astral, in your sleep, or in real life. You're studying a certain craft that you always like was really interested about. Maybe you're into, I don't know, maybe you work as an accountant, but you're super into actual poetry. And you're like, if I could just be a writer, a poet, an artist, right? I would be so much happier. Why did I follow what my parents like picked out for me, right? There's something about a identity that's really crucial here is what's coming through. I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about the lifestyle as well, not to the extent of it like oh, I want flashy cars or I don't want flashy cars or whatever it is. I feel like it's an identity of you personally feeling like more at home in your skin that is really kind of like irking you currently and being very uncomfortable. You might actually be scratchy, like out of nowhere, you feel like you need to scratch, or your palms might be basically just sweating all the time and just fucking wet. Eyes itchy as well as coming through, irritated, just like symptoms and notions. You might have had a bit of a shorter fuse, or you've been a bit more snappy with people that didn't deserve it, and you've noticed it and you don't like it and you want to stop it and shift it and change it somehow, but it's hard. I don't like the energy. Not that it's a problem per se, like I don't like you. I can recognize how uncomfortable this is, and yeah, it's just not pleasant. I feel like I'm looking for something. What the f are you like? I feel like you look at the door out or in the way out at the possibilities of how you can stop being where you are, and then you instantly revert yourself to being like, no, this is my path, this is my purpose. No, I need to be here. No, this is my livelihood. No, this is how I make money. No, this is the only thing I know. It's like we're human beings. We're not meant to like find one thing and stick at it. That is a societal program. We are meant to change and shift and to explore ourselves. That whole notion of constantly shifting and changing every few years in our life is ingrained in us, and it never really changes. It is a point that some people are afraid of because we are always looking for stability and something that's actually going to be like livable from, sustainable. But a lot of things are so in flux, not just now, but they always have been and they always will be, that if you don't pivot, you miss your chance at an actual like shift transition that provides the stability to keep going in life, right? To keep actually exploring, living, or just making ends meet. You don't really need the same amount all the time to be happy to actually succeed at anything. You need to be flowing through the options and the possibilities that you have moment from moment to moment, and then you just keep on going that way. It's never too late to try something new. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to actually give it your best shot to become something you've always wanted to. Doing it and not doing it, obviously, is it's a choice, and it looks way different than how people imagine it every single time, person to person. It's never one thing. It's never just a luck of the draw. It is a setup. You might need to work for the next like few months or a year or two before you can make the full transition, but you're gonna feel miserable if you don't even consider it and you don't even invest in thinking into it. Which this is, I think, the situation currently. I don't think you're giving yourself the freedom to even consider doing something else as a career path or a lifestyle. I think you're staying stuck for the point of safety is first. I will lose everything if I don't do this. Do it slow. Who said you gotta leave your job, your work like today? No one. If you want to transition, save up, spend your time, look at different departments. Because if you get a promotion or demotion, but you still earn good enough money either way, right? Or the hours suit you well enough to save up to go out of work and do this passion project and just try it for 6 or 8 months, right? Then go do it. Maybe you have a really good rapport with your work and you'll be able to come back. Maybe it'll just be a good part on your portfolio. Honestly, there's also so many good companies that are looking for people that are innovative enough or self-sustaining enough that they don't get stuck or just follow the grain. They can say like, "Oh yeah, I have interests and hobbies and I'm like a full-fledged fucking human, you know? I tried doing this, it didn't work out, now I'm here." And they're gonna be like, "That's cool. That's actually very good. We need someone to have that initiative of taking charge of things or who can actually learn as they go as they work here, and they're going to become like an actual leader or teacher in like a year's time, a year's and a half, or whatever it is, right? Or we're looking for someone to replace this person once like something happens, right? Not like in a negative way, but it's like they're looking to the future and they have a system in supporting their workers, but also like whatever else. So you might actually succeed at doing the thing you want to do, or you might actually shift the job. You might shift the position. You might come back and the whole company is different after you trying to go out it on your own. Because this feels like corporate going to a private business or your own, like, I don't know, private service of some sort, or even just having like a little bit of a gap year. I know that's mostly for students, but this feels like it's a gap year from work, and you go into teach like learning events, honing new skills, and exploring, and maybe a little bit of traveling on like a huge crunched budget. Like it's not really extravagant vacation, but it is good enough for you to just get out of your head and sense some freedom instead of being suffocated where you are. You're gripping to a false sense of security of who you are and how you're making your life work for you, and it's not healthy because you deserve more. You are very much multifaceted, and your heart is screaming for joy and happiness because there's just something you're so done with in where you are currently. And I don't think it's just the corporate world. Maybe it's a really nice workplace. I'm not saying it's bad. It feels more so like it's just not fitting you. It doesn't feel like home. And you don't like the socializing there. Like it does, you don't click. Nothing clicks there for you. Some people you see are happy and they click and they're the most grateful they've ever been to land a job like this, and they'll work there for like 10 years to come, and they're already on their like second, third, for fifth year of being there, but you're just like, I can't." And that's because you chose a path that was predetermined for you to be the path that you're going to be the most successful in, but not the most happiest in. So like kudos on making something work that isn't for you, but you deserve more, is how it's coming across. The ghost dance reversed, taming the wind, the ancient ones, the medicine wheel, and the council. Okay, so this is literally talking about you fighting your soul. You fighting your soul, your higher self, you fighting the notion of change that would bring more balance, but it has to go through disruption and chaos and this disassembling first, right? This notion or portion of life where you're kind of like taking shit apart instead of putting them together to actually work. Taming the wind is talking about literally freeing yourself from the mental anguish that you have, and that bird symbolizes spirit here for me. You're also having 22 and 55, which are master numbers. You also have an 11 here, master numbers all over the freaking reading. Like, this is a part of your life's journey and destiny. This is a part of your purpose. That's why you feel so pulled and like you can't escape the daydream. Like, it's stalking you because it's very important for you to do this, not to just be happy, but because the world needs you to experience this, to go through this attempt, even if nothing happens from it. It's about you figuring out your own mindscape, your own mental like prison and liberation and revolution. It's about you finding growth and what seeds you can plant mentally so you can emotionally actually feel seen and heard by yourself so you can move forward and really align with your heart's passion. Because you're just not happy where you are. Like you're good at it, you're just not happy though. And everyone deserves to be happy. It's just we're in this world where we're figuring out what happy is, how does it work, and what the fuck to do about it. Because not enough people have ever tried to succeed at it, and if they did and then failed, they only say that it doesn't work. They don't really give you a proper like tools or knowledge about it, right? They don't explain what works and what doesn't work. They just say like, "Oh, it's not worth it." But why isn't it worth it? Maybe it's just a case of like how how much strife does anyone need to go before they actually succeed at anything, right? Education, getting a job, a career, a good one, a home, like anything. Some people, yeah, have it very easy, but that's it's not everyone. And success is still such a figment of like you either get it or you don't, but the story behind it, the journey is what matters, and there's so many hidden points of like wisdom and experience that it's just worthwhile regardless if you succeed or you get to the destination you think you need to get to or where you're gonna be happy and you're envisioning yourself there. There's so much to live along the way. And that's the life that everyone is actually like striving for, but it's also about like how do you set that in motion in your head and in your heart, right? How do you not hold yourself back from that experience as you're going to be living it? Because you could be living your life's dream and you're literally putting yourself down while you're experiencing it, or you're looking at all the negatives, or you're dealing with addictions and or other stuff like that, right? You have shitty people around you and you're like not doing the calls that need to be done for just common sake sense or mental health or whatever it is. And in this case, like you're holding on literally to some type of generational thing, like either this is what the everyone in your family did, this is how your parents raised you, this is like where you grew up in what community, this is what is said to be like common sense for sustainability or good money or just to live happy, right? And you're not even that person. Yeah, you fit good in corporate life, but you're not a corporate person. Like there's something of an artist at heart here. You're emotionally soft as well, is what I can hear. Yeah, emotionally vast. And you want to be a part of the solutions and not the problems. I do think you do create like peace, harmony, or some type of I don't know, you provide a like some type of needed service in where you are currently, but it's not soulful. Not for you anyway. Like some people would find it very soulful, but you kind of lack the mental interest in it. That's all. You just lack the mental interest in it. You'd be happier being wild, whatever wild means to you. Oops, that was upright actually. Let yourself go through the seasons in the upcoming year or two, entertaining the thought that this can be a possibility that you can actually create this and you can live this life and be happy enough. You will have a roof over your head, you will have enough money, you will have good people around you, and the people that will not support you didn't make you happy in your life to begin with. Because you might start seeing that if this is really gonna happen for you, you might start seeing stuff change in many ways as you start thinking and entertaining these thoughts and like giving room and space to these feelings within yourself. You might start seeing people like have beef with you out of nowhere, although you didn't do anything. You might actually make a problem for them out of nowhere accidentally, but it's not you making the problem for you. It's them trying to create the problem so they can get in your face, which that isn't fun. Um, you might start seeing like your family kind of like distance themselves from you, or you want to distance yourself from them because the resonance like starts going away there, even if they're nice and supportive and kind to you, it just doesn't go the way you need it to go to be happy. But if that starts happening because you're just entertaining the thoughts and emotions and you're not necessarily sharing them or like speaking too loud or voicing it, right? Especially if you're not like getting into other people's faces with it, that's a sign that the universe is already moving you because it's not just a possibility, it's a reality manifesting. And the signs usually are like of a crumbling past or a crumbling foundation, society, home, community, family life, career, whatever it is that holds you back from like that new, it starts crumbling away. And this is gonna be like a healthy, slow process for you. I think some of you got scared that if you start just thinking about it positively, it might start occurring that way. Don't be. You're always gonna have enough. You're always going to be happy. But you need to face those fears of why do you feel like this is not safe? Who made you think that the only way you're gonna be happy and safe when you aren't currently, you're not happy? Maybe you're safe, but you're not happy. So is it really worth it? Like who made you think that? Because you're also fighting spirit on this. They are there. They're also trying to help you like agree to this journey. I think some of your guides have gotten really annoying and pokey. Like you might just feel like someone's or something's pushing you to make this decision, and or you might start feeling agitated that you even have these thoughts or feelings about this new beginning, and that's your guides. They're trying to convince you to be like, come on, do it. Like you believe in yourself. You can do it. This is okay. This is good. Because yeah, you just need to give it some seasons. You just need to give it some seasons. 7 or something would like seasons would be enough for you to start moving forward. I don't think this is. So this is literally what I just said. Heartache over the point that you wouldn't be stable on your like by yourself, that you wouldn't be self-sufficient, and so you can't nurture yourself with proper thought or critical thinking about having this as a possibility, laying out the plans, actually using your intuition, looking into the future and like how could you live this life? Because it's just too painful for you. And I feel like these cards flew out because the querent, you, the watcher, is kind of wondering like how do I face the pain of this then? Like how do I release myself from the grasp and the grip of being so afraid to do this because I'll lose my sustainability, my independence, my freedom, my luxuries. And I won't know what to do. I won't know how to think and go forward about it all. Start from there. That's a core root of a problem that's holding you back, is not believing in the point that you will be safe and happy doing this. But as we just stated, you're not safe and happy currently right now. The only person that can answer those questions is you. You're the only person that can be like, I'm afraid because of that. That's who told me I'm gonna be a fucking failure if I don't do what I like and love because it's not sustainable. Society doesn't respect it, and so I will not be sustainable in my own life of living, and I will be seen as a failure. I'll be disrespected and unloved. And that's a childhood core wound, it feels like. Maybe teenage years, but still, like, we're still a kid when we're a teenager, especially in the younger years rather than the later years. The later ones, you're like, I'm an adult, I know everything most of the time, but you're still a kid when you're like 20, 12, 13, 14, right? But you are a teenager as well. Okay, so this is explaining the pain and the problems that will arise if you choose this, because I think that's what you're wondering about currently. If this arrives, you'll be going away from the system and the societal structure that is really seeming beneficial or successful or giving you an astute position of affluency, of success, of being respected, of being honored, right? Besides that, your relationships are gonna go like wonky, and you will be seen as doing something not just unjust, but fucking stupid by certain people. And I'm not saying this to judge you, I'm just saying those people are gonna be like, you're crazy. What the fuck? Some friends that you have might be like earning less money or in worse job positions and other stuff like that. They might judge you because they would kill to be in a position like you are, but everyone's different. Just because they would kill to have the money and the position you do doesn't mean you would, because you're fucking miserable there. Some people are happier with a full paycheck and a condo in New York, and others are happier being a freaking artist on the streets of Sri Lanka. It depends on who you are, right? Like you don't need to judge it. It's different. It doesn't have to be better or worse. Who said that it's better or worse? Why? It's just people's preference of life and happiness at that point. Because definitely, if the person that fishes for food and goes through the village and town exchanging what they fished up for, like, I don't know, some anemone or whatever it is, right? And sleeps in a hammock like under a fucking banana tree, right? And then goes and arts on the street and gets some tourists taking photos with them and money that way and whatever else they do to live, to have an experience, right? It's on like bare minimum resources basically. Compared to the stockbroker or the Wall Street guy or gal, right, who lives in a fucking condo driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, like, who's miserable as well, doesn't get along with anyone, doesn't have any social life. If they do, it's just like fake. And also vice versa. Like, it could be someone hit rock bottom with this situation I said of an artist, but other people who could be living what they think is the high life before their rock bottom, or never will hit it while being like in New York and etc. So many different lives, so many different possibilities. No one can judge us for what makes us happy and the person we are. There's room on this planet for everyone. No shade needed, because like yeah, no one has the right to call it like, oh, this is, yeah. But you know what you feel, and you know how you feel, and you know that you're gonna be happier without this. And it'll become more clear for you as you start going this direction and you start letting the reality or the notion of it come in, and you just release the system, you release the order behind it, the hierarchy, you release the people that are connected to this lifestyle. That I think is going to be the most hardest for you, because you don't really think or see some people as being that bad in your life currently. But I think that's going to be the biggest hit in the stomach, is that these people don't have your best interests at heart. And being called out as being unjust or doing stupid shit currently, or you just being insane and or like an idiot, is going to really be upsetting, but it's also going to be eye-opening that someone can judge you for the choices that you do to be happy instead of just supporting you and seeking out your own happiness in life. And the disillusionment and the lack of confusion is going to be so liberating, because you do feel like you can take the choices and the options that you're creating for yourself and you're opening your heart to, instead of just fighting them off and saying like, I will never be that way. It's not a good decision for me. It's not a good lifetime. I'm just looking over the cards and seeing like what's what. No, that's it. Okay, so the bottom is Ten of Cups reverse and Queen of Wands upright is at the top of the deck. You have your right to move wherever you want to move and change direction and give yourself the freedom to chase after your passions and do something from the heart of love, from what actually like lifts you up and lights you up. And you can do it by realizing and understanding what emotions and feelings and fears you were running away from and hiding from, and what you kept in the shadow. Because, like, why stay where you're not happy anyway? Fucking blaze that path and just go forward and realize who you are instead of being stuck where you're at. So I hope this helps. This was intense. In a way, I know it was really intense for you, the watcher, but I really do hope this helped you come to terms with what you are feeling and how you're feeling and what you want to do. And trust yourself in going forward and knowing that this is going to be really good for you. And I hope to see more of you. Let me know if this has helped in any way. You don't have to. But yeah, I'm gonna move over to the next file, and I wish you peace and wish fulfillment, honestly. So yeah. Hello, pile number two, you beautiful souls, you. Which pile of deck are we going with? Okay, shamanic, oracle. But first, I gotta channel the card, as always. Okay. You're getting ready to go. It doesn't look that way, maybe, to you. Spirit is definitely looking after you, but you're getting ready to go. You are looking after yourself, you're nourishing yourself. Fuck, I just remembered I didn't read the card in the last pile. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do that later. Anyway, you're currently taking care of your home and your house. In this case, it could be like your health and your body. You could be just nourishing yourself the best you can, and you have been for a while. You're also possibly getting rid of things that are not important or holding you back or lost their sentimental value or just bring you down and make you sad. You might have let go of things that have really mattered to you. Like, you might have needed to either sell stuff to make it through a difficult period recently, or you've gotten rid of like really emotional trinkets, either pertaining to past relationships or even maybe family and family heirlooms is coming across. Like maybe you got rid of almost everything you have and became a minimalist out of emotional necessity, maybe something to do with the practical side of it, and you've just been saving money and living on the minimum just so you could start this new journey that's coming up that has been a while to come up. It's really scary right now because nothing has happened and it's kind of like, did I just do all of that for fucking nothing? Because I'm really scared of it falling flat now and me just being where I am and being stuck and not being able to live my life to the fullest. I'm really, really scared about that, Spirit, what to do. And I don't think you've had much result. If you are a spiritualist or intuitive, you have been connecting to spirit, and they give you signs, but it's also like you really want something tangible. You hear them talk to you, your ancestors visit to talk to you, whoever else you connect with talks to you. But it's a case of like it's really scary where you are currently because you don't feel like you have enough, but you're making do. You do feel abundant in a way of like energy and manifestation, how you speak to yourself and everything, but you are aware enough that there's a part of you that's really terrified, is how it's coming across. And you're just kind of keeping calm. You're just like, breathe, woosah, mentally support myself, emotionally sit and where I need to sit and just do what I need to do. Hmm. It's weird. The sun and the heart of the sky. The heart of the sky being reversed. What the fuck with the curse be like? Yeah, underneath it. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so you don't need to be doing anything currently right now. I don't think I'm going to tell you anything new. I think this is just reassurance and re-encouragement to keep being and doing as you are because you're perfect. Everything is fine. The distance is closing down and you are about to fly. It is an uncomfortable phase that you need to stay in before everything lands because it's like you're keeping space open for things to come in when the time is going to be right and you are following divine timing instead of doing things the practical, like physical way. You're doing it in energy, in spirit, which is way better in the long run because you will get a sustainable lifestyle and living that suits what you are desiring in terms of how you will feel, think, and then experience yourself on the outside too. And maybe it's not gonna like look like specific details that you could pinpoint for physical means or a certain experience, but it is going to be you being happier through the tangible aspect of like you feel this way, it's around you, it's long term, you have like really invested in the road that provides it as a true lifestyle, not just as a fleeting idea. Because it's coming across as like, yeah, we can make up ideas, but divine source, God, spirit of all, everything like that is the one or is the source of like knowing how things need to be. So it's like an even flow, like it's proper. So it is for your highest good, but also in alignment with everything else, so you can't get off of that awesomeness, right? So it can't go away. I got like pulled and pushed from like Raziel to stop. I don't know. I feel like he wants to say something. What the hell do you want to say, buddy? We're gonna get back to the cards that I've pulled out already, but I feel like he wants to say something, and he wants me to use cards just so I can be specific about it. I don't know. He wants to like speak to some heartache or pain. You're gonna hit that portal. You're going to be noticed and seen. You're going to be recognized and adored. You're going to be loved. You are like hitting the portal. You're literally in the portal, some of you. And it's kind of like the fruits of your labor, the harvest is just out of reach, just above you, right? Or just like I feel like if you were like falling in a portal, you could try and grab the fruit right in front of you, excuse me, but it just doesn't work because it's just too far out of reach, but it is coming closer to you as you are falling into this timeline. You're just also following a part or a path where it is very slow moving. It is very much like I wanted to say like it's loyal and how it's gonna come about. It is divinely guided and it's real. It's as real as it gets. It's very solid. It's very It's like creating a proper foundational experience. And out of all of the knights, the Knight of Pentacles is basically the symbol of doing it the slowest but the most right. It's figuring out any and every way of how it doesn't work before you set in what does work. So you can't move that crap. Like, so you can't dislodge it. It cannot be removed, and you can safely build on top of it going forward, and it creates this tapestry, of a perfect road, of a perfect building, of a perfect it's perfect architecture. It can withstand anything, whatever it is. It'll keep away all of the unnecessary like negativity and strife and attack. It's going to keep away all of the unwanted energies and beings and people and gossip. It's going to like be very much abundant and always have you having what you need. It's always going to protect you. It's always going to keep you safe and going to also like make you feel happy. And I don't know what type of dream you're going for by, but you're going for some type of dream. And it is happening. It's slow for a reason. So when it happens, you're going to understand like you were right all along, and you're going to be so proud of yourself for sticking to it and going through the journey that's like occurring currently, because it isn't easy. It is hard. Some of you are chosen ones. Some of you, not all of you. Take it as it resonates. You're also going towards your life partner for whoever that's relevant. Keep focusing on yourself and your own life's journey, not on the partner. They will show up when you're just like living your life and vibing. It will not happen better or quicker or easier just because you're constantly obsessing about someone coming in or expecting it. You should not be expecting it. Everything is being done like step by step, and there's no real like roadmap or plan that anyone is following because energy is constantly shifting. So it's kind of like one partner, let's say, could be set up, right? But they fucking fall flat, and then you're gonna be realigned to a person that's way better for you, that has actually ascended through all of their life issues and problems, and is a perfect resonance to you. It's not a person, it's an energy. And if that makes you sad and unhappy, figure out why. Figure out why. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be an energy, not a person. Overall, some of your seeds are sprouting. They're just so tiny you can't really see it for what it is. See? Like it's tiny, very small. But they actually got out of the ground, out of the soil, out of the darkness. Just keep appreciating for like them for what you have and what is there instead of what you're still lacking or what you're still going towards, because you might be surprised how the little list of stuff that you have currently right now is really helping you get through what you need to. And it is because of your strength of making do with what you have, but it's also because you'll appreciate what you've created so far in the journey that you've gone through and you are still going through. Okay, I've heard like remove the cards. We're done with that message. So you're not really supposed to be like really going by anything or flowing by anything or following a plan, or if you feel like you don't have a thread you can follow currently right now, that's for a reason. It's because you're not meant to have this flow or navigation. You're supposed to do things as they come up moment to moment, because that's not just only spirit guiding you, but it's also you clicking into, oh, I just shifted timelines, or oh, something just occurred, or oh, now I can go and do this, or whatever it is, right? Or like, oh, I need to sit the fuck down and let these emotions process through. I need to be okay with these memories coming up, or I need to fucking bat them away and say no. Whatever it is, like it's good that you're taking it moment by moment instead of just like following a certain flow, because you're not supposed to be a dead fish going downstream, is how it's coming across. You're supposed to be stepping on the like a Knight of Pentacles. You're supposed to be stepping on the solid parts, on the solid steps that appear one by one, step by step. Don't get suffocated by shadow work. Let your shadow come up healthy in an integrated way where it can support you and protect you, especially energetically. I don't know, I feel like I just felt like some grandmother, mother vibes that doesn't have your best interest or something like that. Um, evil stepsister, like vibes like that, like some type of dark feminine vibe trying to like pull you aside and be like, this is who you are, this is what you are and what you deserve. Sit here, bitch. It doesn't have to be like a woman specifically, although that's what came through. It could be whoever, whatever is operating from a dark feminine energy could also be connected to that type of energy, or literally have a spiritual council with a dark feminine of some sort. Covens came through. Spiritual covens, they don't need to be directly like physically manifest, right? Either way, the only thing you need to do is keep being yourself, keep being like as you are, and loving and protecting yourself, as well as letting yourself be seen at the moments you need to be seen. It isn't easy, but the way it's coming across is like you wouldn't have been doing this if it was easy. You chose this for a reason, and it's not to make you feel unhappy or disgruntled. It's just to remind you like you chose to break through something because you were tired of it. And yes, it's hard and unpleasant, and it's annoying that maybe you have like something also trying to go against you or slow you down, but ultimately you are being crowned for your success. It's about keeping the faith and the focus in like what you wanted to change, because you're creating an impact by just existing in this world, and not everyone does that. There's a lot of people that do. I'm not saying like, but it's either you do it or you don't and ta. No, 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 no. I'm just saying like not everyone agrees to live a life that almost breaks them completely to then ascend beyond it and to live their dream. It's not you could have you could have chosen something easier. Whether you were bored or you saw the problems with it or you didn't want to be like, slow moving, purposeless or whatever it is, you've done something like wonderful with yourself and your soul, and you're very much achieving a pinnacle when it comes to like the endless. It's beyond this lifetime type of stuff. You're really kind of a part of like creation's evolution at this point, and it's very much commendable, but it's also kind of hard as fuck. So, right, so we had the sun and the heart sky, like sun bottom upright and heart sky reversed on the top on the deck before I shuffled. And it's just coming back as like the sun is promised to you. You will have all of this make sense and be illuminated to you, but currently we need you to be in the dark so you can kind of like not only exercise your talent and your patience, but because you're veiled from something that way, and you can keep to like whatever you need to keep to. Because honestly, the biggest successes come from this type of energy, from this type of position. And you can look at many actors, writers, celebrities, business people, millionaires and billionaires, and just happy folk to really see that as evidence. They had nothing before they had everything. And the only thing that they had before they got it was basically themselves holding their hand and just doing what they can, even though everything seemed like pointless and useless. Yeah, it's in God's hands. Let it be in God's hands. That's how it's coming across. It's not nice hearing that, but like you're not spirit. You don't need to be spirit. You don't need to know everything. You're just supposed to be you living your life. and experiencing what you need to be experiencing the best you can, showing off like your talent to yourself in your private time, but also showing up in the world or in life when you need to, especially if you're called, and then just like letting like time take care of the rest. Not counting the minutes, not looking to a deadline, not looking to specific way of things happening, not holding on to that, holding on to yourself because you're the important rare commodity of life becoming even more beautiful right now, not you reaching a destination being deserving of it because you just made it and here is your proof type of thing. I feel like that really hits someone, so you're already like there, you're already beautiful by spirit standards. It just the 3D needs to catch up, like the physical reality needs to catch up. But they know who you are, like your soul has been weighed. I just heard we're done. I guess so. I guess so. Because I really did ask a couple of times, and Raziel was like, "We done. We gotta go. Next pile." Um, I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being a part of this reading. I appreciate you spending your time here and like, your presence and your energy. And I hope to see you another time and another reading or another pile or whatever it is. And yeah, I really wish, for things to work out the best they can, the quickest they can. But, divine timing and all of that. So, peace be with you. Blessings and see you around. Oh, pile number three. So you got nourishment, every monster's favorite fruit. You feel like the pile that actually has it going good. You have what you need, where you need, how you. But I feel like you only have a little bit of a pit stop situation going on before you need to keep moving and going somewhere else. Yeah. I think some of you don't want to go out of this vibe or energy, but others of you are like, I'm not there yet. Either way, recommendation is love this moment for as much as you can, as long as you can, to sustain yourself, regenerate, recuperate, get grounded, get energized and motivated, because I think you have a long trek ahead of you. Whatever that long trek is, maybe it's going to be a short one, but it feels long. I'm not quite sure. I want to sneeze. I ain't gotta sneeze. Thank God. I don't know how I did that, but I stopped the sneeze. Um, Enjoy the fruits of your labor currently, because they're just only a snippet of the success that you will be achieving as you finish this journey that you're on currently. I think some of you already know that. You've planted a lot of your seeds. Some of you are ritualists, ceremonialists, or just witches and wizards and magicians. Others of you are just, ow, what the f is that? Why did my crown just hurt? I just heard I don't need to say whatever I was about to say. Fair enough. And I might need to quickly pause this. I'm gonna try and not, but I might need to quickly pause this. 'Cause my body's going through some weird shit. I feel like in this reading. I wanted to sneeze. I still kind of want to. Anyway. You're about to meet someone that feels like true love. Doesn't have to be an actual romantic partner. You can have a feeling of true love with them being like a really good friend, a really good individual that's like in your career or business partner. Like you just adore that person. You feel actual like love and respect in a way where it's like I didn't think there was someone that was like this. Like I didn't think there was this cool of a person that I can say like I love and respect. And it doesn't have like it just is a strong feeling. Can be platonic or romantic. Mostly kind of somehow it feels like platonic though. Like, regardless of the position they would have in your life, they would feel like a very trustworthy, lovable person, maybe even like a best friend, but maybe you don't have them as close as that. But they still like, there's such a good vibe, it kind of stays that way. You're going to go through many different experiences with that person. But mostly they're here to help you to go through this portal, whatever they're gonna help you go through and the portal. You had a really dark road leading up to here. The clouds are only parting now in your mind. You might still be holding on to some things in your heart, but mostly you're kind of just like munching on the fruit and not even really like not really enjoying them. You're just getting like the needed calories and nourishment and sustenance in, and you're gonna be like, I'm going right outside again to play. It's like chill, sit down, like let yourself kind of be where you're at, what you're doing, like celebrate, maybe buy yourself like a trinket or something like a memento. Take a fucking photo. I don't know. Like you need to sit down. You really need to sit down and breathe is what I'm hearing. And I feel like you really don't want to. You're like, no, 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 no. I want to go. I want to go. I'm gonna take a fucking pause because I need to sort out me for a moment. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Maybe I won't sneeze now, like out of nowhere. Yeah. We're gonna do some tarot now, because that's where I left off. Yeah, you're kind of tense. You're kind of tense. You're kind of focused, and it's kind of about living your life as you go through the transformation instead of just wanting a result and focusing on it, because you're missing the point while you're doing that. You're missing like smelling the flowers and whatever. Excuse me. It's like you're trying your best to not lose not neither perspective nor the result that you're going for because it's very, very important to you, which is understandable. But you're supposed to be in this kind of like state of change and flow and ebb and flow because there's gonna be like these moments of emotional need that just arise and you need to just like embrace it. You just need to embody it. You just need to be yourself and to feel those feelings and to have those experiences. Smell the roses along the way of you walking down this freaking path because sometimes there's not gonna be any flowers. There's not gonna be anything nice. It's just gonna be a dark path in like the middle of the damn woods and all you see is maybe like a firefly here, a firefly there, um, and you will need to exercise like this notion of focus in those moments. Right now, it's not that moment. Right now, it's release. I'm okay. I can be myself. I can enjoy like some fruits. I can treat myself right. Maybe like, go watch a movie or catch up with someone, and then I'm gonna need to like have my nose down in the books. I'm gonna need to be working again. I'm gonna need to be building my empire, enterprise, whatever it is. Because currently, like, yeah, you're trying to get away from something as quick as possible, or get away with something as quick as possible. I think you're really afraid of like having to start from zero again, or from like the null point. You're afraid of going back, but you don't get You don't get further away from where you want to run away from by just booking it and going and doing towards the direction you want to go towards. You don't arrive at your destination any faster that way or any better. You actually not only miss the journey and the point of it, but you actually might prolong the experience because it's about right now. It's about this moment as you kind of constantly like are shifting and moving instead of reaching the destination as fast as you can. Destinations and everything else like that is a linear figment of this physical reality. It's not a real thing. That's not how energy or spirituality works. Energy and spirituality work by the common value of the present moment, i.e., how you feel, how you like, how you are resonating, how you're sitting, how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're focusing on, what you're experiencing and how you're responding to that, all of these things are sending out necessary impulses of vibration and notion to the universe that then get reflected back or get put aside into a bank for later experience and review. Like what you vibe out reverberates back into you, and if you keep doing this, this is what you're gonna get back, even if you're going to reach that destination. This isn't to freak you out or to whatever, it's just to wake you up that like right now you need to enjoy. That's a part of the purpose of the journey. It doesn't matter if you want to or not. The more you don't want to, the more it's kind of like beckoning the question of why. Why are you rushing? What are you running away from? Why are you running to something? And how come are you not giving yourself the deserving right to be present in your harvest currently, in the fruits of your labor? Okay, doing a different deck. The two fucking most shadowy shadow cards, shadow work cards you can get out of this deck. Yeah, you gotta look at like why can't you enjoy stuff for what it is in the present moment? Like why can't you be happy now? It's not delving into like deep trauma or whatever on that front of like how hurt you are and how it's stuck in other things. Like maybe you'll hit that point. Maybe you'll need to like remove a prick for the purpose of enjoying more and realizing that. But ultimately, this is about you kind of like taking a step back and realizing like you have something good right now. Why aren't you like giving yourself the right to be good right now? Where is that stemming from? Why is that happening? Because you have that ability to really look at like where you don't let yourself be fully happy when you have the opportunity in the moment, because that's like a humongously useful life skill right there, isn't it? How to enjoy yourself when you have something, when you're in the present moment, when you're making do with something, when you're like achieving, or when you're even in the process of mastery, when you're in the journey. Like, how do you enjoy yourself no matter what in life, even when you're having a shit time or out of something? How do you just make do? But when you're fully relaxed, happy, when you have that circumstance in life, when you have that break, how do you fully enjoy yourself? Because a lot of people do not fully let go to enjoy themselves. Like, yeah, procrastination is a thing and people forget and let go and get lazy, but I think personally, I want to say that it's not just a point of actually avoiding the work, it's avoiding the joy when you have it as well. Because it is a problem, it's a bit of a syndrome. Everyone, get stuck in work mode or work hard mode, or it's a process of like getting out of it and into it and finding that flow and managing the different states of doing and not doing, and they're important. Both of them are important. if you can't be happy to the max when you have something, then what's the purpose of working hard to achieve something? Either way, it will lead to like procrastination because you either didn't enjoy yourself fully or you avoided the work. So which one is it? For you, it's obviously not having as much fun as you could be in the moments that you're supposed to just be doing nothing. Because you're gonna get there, like there's no doubt on that. And if you gotta go from zero at some point, so be it. That's a part of the journey, but you can't worry yourself about that now when you're going to only have to do it in the future, and you'll be more prepared to do it if you need to. This is just a hypothetical. Maybe you won't need to go from zero, right? But like your fear is the current now moment that is feeding into the future. Yeah, I mean, the drum and the coyote is literally just talking about like instead of looking to the emotional like prosperity that you need to embody in those moments, you're literally letting yourself dictate the point that it's about just doing and being and having your eyes focused on the purpose and the prize and yeah, like yeah, it's just that. And life isn't just about that. Life is so much more. Come out of it. Come out of the darkness, you know? Like come out of the focus of having it just one way. Let yourself be emotional and relax at some points. Maybe you'll need to decompress and let some stuff go. Maybe you'll need to cry a bit. But overall, you're going to have more energy to keep being focused and determined the way you want to, because maybe that's like a strong suit of yours that is it's just a comfort, right? But it's not infinite energy. You will have the string snap if you stretch it out too long, too far like that. It needs to come back into a point of relaxed to be reassessed into movement and doing and going again. Um, I mean, I was literally harping on the same thing over and over again, but I guess I just got told, like, we're done, that's over. That's all we needed to talk about. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough, Raz. I guess that is your message. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck to you in like achieving your goals and your dreams, and I hope you figure out how to enjoy the happiness that you also achieve along the way instead of just going for the result of it, because you definitely do deserve what you are making, but you also deserve to enjoy the fruits of the labor now. And yeah, I hope to see you again. I really appreciate having you here and having your energy uh, to do the reading. I appreciate your presence, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Hello, pile number three. How you doing? Hi, hi, hello. Um, I'm trying to look for a deck, but they were saying channel the card again. I don't know why I keep wanting to do a deck and then it's just like, just channel the cards. I did have something when I was like, I had a row of all the cards, but this one is specifically, it's coming back to me. But there's been so many changes in all of the piles, and this one, the lighting changed, so we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna cook with whatever we're cooking with. You keep wanting things to be a specific way to begin to start things to get them going, and it's like you don't need to have that. You don't need to have it this way. You just need to start doing it and just accept that like nothing's ever perfect. Never ever is it ever fucking perfect. But you deciding to just do you for you is the best thing you could do. It doesn't need to be the way you think it needs to be. Like you don't need a clean slate, you don't need things to add up like that. You don't need it. You're just saying you need it because otherwise if you don't have it that way, then you won't start. So then what's the purpose of you even beginning or wanting that thing? Because then you want the actual like clean slate more so than you want to do the thing. Hope that made sense. You need to start now without the I need this, I need that. Like you're limiting yourself. You're magnificently amazing by the standards that you are currently, and you're not giving yourself the necessary credit because you're afraid of the journey. Oh damn. Look, maybe you really don't have some things working out for you currently right now, but you need to let that slide. You need to let that go and accept like it's fine, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You can still have growth and development. Yeah, it's gonna be slow moving. Yeah, you're gonna not be able to necessarily enjoy the harvest right away. And overall, maybe you need to grieve the point of like where you are in life compared to where you thought you were going to be by now, or what you were going to have to begin this new stage or to do this whole new thing. But like, I feel like you're also letting go of like people or living situations or a community that was quite important and necessary in your mind to do this and achieve this. Like you were relying on people to stay secure and be solid or stable or like you know have like a foundation to stand on, but you were your own community. You were your own foundation. You're the one that can make yourself either feel prosperous and confident like you can do this and like you're the stability you need, right? Or you can just keep on letting yourself feel like you're not that and keep on grieving what you lost without giving yourself credit that you're still the one that's standing here. You're still the one that like is growing your own relationship with yourself in this thing. You're still the one that's creating the truth behind this all. You know, you still have your dreams with you, is also how it's coming across. Like you didn't give up. I want to also say for some of you, they gave up, whoever they is in this context. That's not on you, that's on them. Who you are and where you're going, that's you. And you're going to be beautiful either way, and also renowned and loved and appreciated, sought after, and like really freaking loved to be with, to live with, to keep on living with. You're the stability, not they. You're the one that creates affluence and stability. They were actually probably just using you, is how it's coming across. You were the one that was not only creating a future, you were creating the present. It's really funny. I want to switch the fucking lighting up again, but I'm hearing like, no, you don't need to, so maybe we needed like this weird lighting for this specific reading, which is like fair. I don't have good lighting anyway. I don't have good lighting anyway. Look, you don't know how freaking affluent you are. You don't know how successful you are. You don't know how powerful you are. You don't know how much you bring in stability and the money. And it's an energy, it's a vibe. Just because maybe other people had the freaking actual physical manifestation of it doesn't mean that they were the one bringing it in. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, especially in physical reality life, but that's actually how it works. Sometimes, um, in families, for example, the youngest child is the one that brings in the most money just by being a certain vibe and energy that was just born into through the family unit, or the one that like worked up into a specific way of thinking, believing, and emotional being, right? That they just actually somehow like up-leveled their whole family to a different social class. They didn't do shit. They were just born. They, you know. Besides that, same goes for household, roommate situations, and group communities or friend groups. sometimes that friend that doesn't have as much as the others is the only friend holding everything together to keep like it going or to keep it like having finances or just even physical like I don't know, compatibility or becoming. Like it's the only reason that physical thing keeps on going and being. Yeah, you don't know how long you're gonna need to sit in this position of like seeing how the growth is happening like a plant as it's growing, right? It's really slow, but still a plant from like 1 month up to 12 months, that's significant change. That's proper growth, right? Um, it's important to give yourself the space in the room to keep investing into something, even though it's very much unseen or slow moving in terms of progress and how much it's like developing and growing. And I don't know what that pertains to you specifically. I think you should know. And if you don't know yet, you're holding yourself by admit like you're holding back yourself by not admitting what it is. Like you're holding yourself back from realizing and seeing it and going by it. And you can do that. Like you can take off the blindfold. You can liberate yourself and saying like this is me or I always knew this. I was just afraid to recognize it and say like this is my thing. This is who I am. This is what I want to invest in. This is like where I get my money from or this is where I am making ends meet from or why I'm important in any situation or social like gathering or whatever it is. I feel like this group isn't necessarily like the most, how do you fucking say that? Like you're not the most like physically affluent person, but you have a lot, and in other people's eyes, the way you're affluent is your personality, is the way you communicate, the way you show up, the energy you bring in, the effort you put in, the work ethic you have, like communication and presence is the stuff like that's mostly coming through this reading, and it's also very much important. Everything is gonna be the same as it is in life, but those people that just show up and just vibe and just like create the environment, the feeling, are so important, and everyone looks at them. It doesn't matter if they have like a lot of money or not enough. And it's not an ego thing either. It's literally like they just have this presence in the room. They can just make people feel a certain way, and it just really creates the experience on a whole different level. Can be work, it can be social conversation, disagreement, aura coming together. It can be a project, and it can be an online community. It can be an offline community. It can be a living situation, but it would be a lot more bleak and normal and blech if that person or those people weren't around. And I feel like they're kind of like, scattered around, and everyone is grateful to have those types of people around, but you always also notice like that they're gone. They're not around. Some people you're like, it happens, right? But it's kind of like these people, regardless of who they are, what they do, or the money they have, it's like it hits in a different certain way. You get on with life, but this is you, and you need to admit that to yourself because there's something opening up for you in terms of like how you can make this grow and prosper and create like a sustainable lifestyle out of. Like you can start earning money with just doing this, but you just don't give yourself the credit. Find peace with the point that like nothing's the way you wanted it to be to start again. Cause it's not meant to be the way you want it to be. It's meant to be the way it's meant to be for a reason, for a reason. And you'll do fine with what you have. You just, start it. look at that, we got the Fool. This pile has a lot of Fool energy to be fair, so trust your inner guidance and the feelings and the nigglings and the like, I don't know, whatever's calling you to move in a new direction and how life is literally funneling you towards that position and cornering you so you don't have any other options. Um, and in the process do let yourself like rest and rediscover not only like the path and where you're going and what life is about for you now, but who you are despite the circumstances, despite the experiences you've just had, and despite the people that might have like been holding you back, or how people have treated you even though you were a valuable quote unquote commodity, which you aren't just a commodity. You're so much more than just that. You shouldn't be, just like that person slung around someone else's like arm, being like, "Oh, look at how flashy I am." Like, no, you're your own whole fucking person, right? Like, you have your own value, and you are to be respected for that. You're to be seen for that, not because you're a part of something, you do something, and you're just there. No, it's and I mean like yes, to some extent being recognized for just existing is nice, but this is coming across as just like, oh, that's just them there, like it's more brushed off than actual value. It's more like a side piece than the main piece type of energy. It's more like a side note than this is a whole fucking person you need to understand and respect and give value to. This is someone at the bottom of the ranks rather than just like at the same level as everyone else. And that's just because they're just there like an afterthought or just like I don't know how to even explain it. I feel like you guys get it though. Yeah, I don't like that reaction to this group. It pisses me off. Sorry, I just processed my own feelings on that. It's just no one should be put down for just being there, like no one should be said to just exist and that's it. Ah, you're just there, like people are multidimensional whole beings that have multiple facets to them and they should be seen and respected for that, not just fucking used as a goddamn commodity. That's all I'm saying. Like, you are gonna be fine. This is just like a little blip in the road, and this was necessary to move you out of where you were and that entire energy to like reassess who you are on a deeper level and like let yourself become more outgoing and emotionally in tune with yourself, but also like creative on your own behalf to go out and live the life you need to and to really show up as an attractive individual that's sought after instead of just being like, as I said, like a side piece type of energy. Because you are the it factor in many a group. Other people have also importance in, creating that experience, but this is more about you understanding that you are a center point, like a glue, you kind of bring things in or together, and that was it was kind of like spreading over to other people instead of like benefiting you, so you earn money and you have certain like, benefits. And it's like, no, you deserve the benefits just as much as like the people that are leeching off of you, except that they don't fucking deserve it, in my opinion. They fucking shouldn't have that type of shit if they're taking it from somewhere else. They should learn how to be their own goddamn inner guide instead of putting someone else down and using that person as a generator for income or experiences. Like, come on. And as I said, the outside appearance doesn't matter. In this case, like it's all purely possibly only energetical. Maybe you can practically see the signs, maybe you can see evidence on a physical level, but if you can't and this still feels right and resonates as a message, take it because this is meant to support you on the intuitive energy feelings that you have instead of just being brainwashed by the simulation, by the Maya, by the ideas and the matrix of experience that were set up here because they're fucking lies. They're bullshit. It doesn't matter. That's not how life works. And you're meant for so much more in terms of experiencing yourself in happiness, not in pain. I don't know why I made this with my hands. Isn't that like a bird or a dove? Mostly, most of the time shown as. Sometimes to me it can also be like either a bug or a bat. I don't know why that came through, but maybe you're seeing bats, maybe you're seeing crows or hearing them often or seeing white doves, or whitish, grayish doves, not the black like pigeon type. White tails. I don't know, something's coming through with that. Could also be seeing many a black spider. Like, yeah. I heard that's enough, so I'm gonna leave it here. I do hope this helped. I can see and feel that this was a bit of a shorter one, but I don't think we needed to say much more than that or this on this file. So thank you so much for being here and like spending your time, sharing your energy so we can have this like experience and conversation. I wish you the very best in whatever you do, whatever you're going through, and really I hope to see you again, honestly. So yeah, have a good one wherever you are, whatever you're going through. And if not, I just hope you can cope through it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ta ta. Hello, pile number 4. Hope you're doing well. I had something before we started, like all the piles, but now it's completely escaped me. Something about, like, yeah, the last two piles I did have something, the other one's not as much. This one was like something about like not feeling ready to roll, not fully committing to the journey in whole, and so you're not starting it because you kind of need to have like both feet in before you start going instead of just being like, instead of just being like, no, I can't do it, I'm not strong enough. Nah, you deserve this. Go for it. Enjoy yourself. Like, do it to the max. Is this a creative endeavor? This feels like more of a creative endeavor. Maybe you want to start a YouTube. Maybe you want to start like a weird Instagram page. Maybe you want to make a website. Um, Maybe you want to start drawing art and it's like I suck right now. It's like yeah, but you won't get better if you don't even just start. Like do a doodle every day. By the end of the month, your doodles will be quite quite cool, quite different than they started with day one. But you gotta keep at it and you gotta keep doing it and starting it, right? Whatever it is, you're not fully committed to it. That's why it's so hard to start or begin or keep the journey because some part of you is not committed to it. And I think it's because you have like a childhood repression thing on it not being a successful thing. And it's like you're not even doing it. I don't think like this pile is doing it for the career aspect. You're doing it as a hobby. You're not doing the hobby because it feels and it's registering in your mind as being useless, meaningless, not sufficient. I feel like a mother figure energy came through when I said not non-sufficient, like a headmistress type of vibe. And that's not really a thing here, not from what I know. maybe in one or two schools here and there, but mostly maybe, and they have to be a Catholic one. And I'm not familiar with that at all. Like, so that's quite a peculiar vibe and energy that just came through. That feels like a headmistress, like Brooklyn, New York, Chicago vibes. Like not a nice place as well to be in. Like a boarding school, Catholic, like a regime that really restricts you in terms of like freedom of expression and being creative as you are, and that being embraced and loved. But also if you got like, feminine vibes of like mothers or grandmothers, that also applies to you, aunties. I don't know, I'm guessing we're clearing a lot of like dark feminine wounds this month. That's how it's coming across. Maybe this week. These readings are timeless, by the way. I don't know why I needed to say that. Like, yeah, I upload them as I upload them, but I'm uploading them for the people that receive them whenever you receive them. As I'm recording this, I'm not really being watched by many people. I'm being watched by who I'm gonna be watched by at either this point or way later on in a couple of fucking years. And these will resonate for whoever like finds them when you find them. Like they're not necessarily, supposed to hit the nail on the head for the specific week. I move energy as it's relevant for the like people that are watching me, the currents. Yeah, this is something about your individuality, though, like your freedom of expression of identity of who you truly are. Maybe you couldn't like dress a certain way, or maybe you couldn't put on certain makeup. Maybe, I don't know, something is coming through a little bit with like trans and homosexual community. So take it as it will. Either like this or that. I don't know, it's so vast right now. I don't really know how to pinpoint it. But something with freedom of identity of expression in a colorful way is really coming through, either in being like very out there, outgoing, dressing funny, in a positive way. I'm not saying like in a, weird way. I'm saying like in a unique way. These days, there's still people that, judge people by how they dress or look or appear, but honestly, the world has opened up so much in many a place. Not every country and every continent, but many a place. Europe and I guess like Americas mostly, Australia as well, in terms of like you being okay to dress however you want to dress, however you feel that is right. But that's scattered about, like you'll find very much colorfully dressing people in Japan, in freaking Thailand, in Africa, right? Like everyone has a different style, and it's okay whether you like being like uh, I don't know, like that weird office look from like 80s, 60s, 70s, right? Or if you like looking like dressing in sportswear from the 80s and 90s, and it's all colorful, right? Specific colors. If you like dressing artistically, or like a hipster or a hippie or a Eastern guru dress vibe, and you're not even spiritual, but you just like the comfortable clothing behind it, right? Maybe you do yoga or something. I don't know. I guess it would be more like yogi dresses, right? Or dressing or clothing, whatever. It's goth punk, rock star, like all of it is welcomed in this day and age, and that has never happened before. You you look at the younger generation and they're dressing like skaters, rockers and punkers and slash whatever the heck from 2000 early 2000s, and we're in 2025. And it's like most of them they don't even really have siblings that were teenagers back then. It's quite interesting, right? How that's the what's in some places currently. And you still have people that are dressing um like a teenager in mid 2000s as well, where it's kind of like smart and cold and dark and just like very much like tight clothing and very much like an aesthetic more so than the skaters and the rockers from the 90s, right? And like very much only early 2000s. It's very visible how clothing has changed over this course of time, and you can fall into wherever you need to fall into currently right now. You have the freedom, there's the clothes, there's different generations of clothing stores, and it's not just that. I feel like it's also whatever that expression is for you. Is it the art from a certain generation? Is it a type of poetry or writing? Is it a sculpting practice? Is it getting into crafting? Are you realizing you are a whole different person than what have went through and have been grown up to be or become or have been grown and groomed to be and become? That took a turn. Maybe you have went through some trigger warning. I don't want to say it. I'm being really pushed by my guides to say it, so I'm just gonna say it because I do get premonitions or notions of stuff that is uncomfortable, as every reader does. You might have been like assaulted in whatever way. I'm gonna leave it at that. And that has changed your whole identity. And that is very common for people that go through that. That is one of the reasons, actually, like promiscuous people or homosexual communities get like attacked because they are more expressive and free in their expression and they're colorful and they don't give a shit. It's not necessarily supposed to be connected to anything unsavory or naughty, right? It's just more expressive. It also, in my opinion, doesn't add up because there's drag queens and stuff like that. It's a big part of in a lot of like cultures, drag or not drag, like comedy sketches, right? Cross-dressing, just done, I guess, maybe differently. I don't know. Life's weird, isn't it? People are freaking weird with what they oppress because they're afraid of it and it opens up the boundaries. It removes the limitations of who can be who and how and what they can say, and it just becomes more seen by the world. And it's not really supposed to endanger anyone. The point that you are hating on it is endangering people. This is not the point that it's there and it's being expressed, it's being shown. Being flirty and promiscuous doesn't necessarily always need to be also like a sexual thing, is what's coming across. It can be like just a form of expression or being seen, or a form of intimacy that doesn't lead there, right? Like the way I guess I can explain it is like that gossip friend that is okay with being loud or making snarky certain jokes or whatever, right? And maybe touching your shoulder or whatever it is and saying girl very in in a tone and stuff like that, right? Or just being like outspoken to that degree, but having also quite good wisdom and emotional knowledge that really supports the person going through whatever they're going through. But they're not afraid to bridge the gap, right? Where other people would be afraid to touch you, literally in a okay way, like on the shoulder, on the knee, whatever, and it doesn't go anywhere, right? Or to exclaim emotionally and to show that the way it's coming across is like certain gay guys are afraid aren't afraid of doing that where women are. And women are said to be more emotional and outspoken on certain things. Eh. And it's a societal issue of like, you can't say this, you can't express it this way, you can't be this, you can't show up this way. It's not okay. And I don't think that this is exclusively to LGBTQ community. I think some of you just said like, no, it is. And it's like, no, it can be a characteristic. You can be hetero, you can be trans, you can be like homo, you can be whatever it is. And I'm not saying homo in a slang derogatory way. I hope you get it, honestly, because I do feel there's a lot of like pain and hurt and trauma and like sensitivity coming through with this pile. I don't think it's a negative, but just in case someone might be going through like very sensitive emotions, I'm just like putting that out there as a disclaimer, a blanket statement of like no hate, no shade here. We're talking about some big shit in this pile, like some big stuff. So you are free to express yourself no matter where you've come from, how you've been oppressed, what has happened to you on your story, because you aren't your story. Yes, that stuff has happened and maybe it's left some scars and created some experiences and other stuff, right? Or has made you lash out or speak out or I don't know, favor like certain things over other things, but maybe some of it was also just like trauma-based responses or safety precautions or defenses, right? Maybe some of it was just difficulty in the point of like, I don't feel safe as being me. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mask. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna like go gray instead of like going colorful. Maybe I'm going to do all of this because society would expect me to be this identity and personality, and you're nothing like it. And you're also not the stereotype that would fall under this way of how a person sounds or they look or whatever it is. You're so much more than that. And it's just that, like, society would limit you in this boundary. I feel like I'm talking to people that just break the social narrative and it you don't fall even into the new liberal like categorization of like gay, bi, straight, artsy, non-artsy, gray and goth, non-gray, not goth. Like you're an anomaly. However you are, you're an anomaly inside of the anomaly, is how it's coming across. And you've been through a lot because you're so unique and like you're like the new fashionable before it hits. And it might be some fucking 20 years or whatever before you become the norm. Like you're the weird right now, but you're also cool and hip and also so like unique in your own way. It's quite a fun and interesting energy because you feel so vast and you have like a dark past in some parts or you've just been through some shit and you just know what life is. And you're not afraid to express yourself, but you've seen how certain experiences have held you back from being your full authentic self. And you've just come to a new pinnacle of a transformation. It's scary because it was so unsafe to be this when you were younger, or just even recently for some of you. It could have been as recent as like 5 or 10 years. And I'm sorry for what you've been through because I just want to extend that feeling because I'm going through so many emotions. I'm going through so many physical sensations. I'm going through a lot in this pile. I'm not gonna lie. Hugs and good wishes and like prayers and blessings and just miracles to you, like power to you. You feel like the new like I don't know how to even describe it. You just feel like the new and you've been through it. I just like feel and hear from also Archangel Raziel. If you need protection, if you need guidance, if you need signs, if you need anything, you call on him. Like I feel it as strong as like you call on me, I'll be there. Like I will show up. I will help you let go of heavy emotions. I will help you feel safe. I will help you feel like see the window when the door closes. I will help you see like a little shining star in the sky when you need a sign of what you thinking is right. I will be that shooting or falling star. I will be whatever you need in the moment. I will send you signs that connect you to your ancestry, to the meaning of like where you are, to that glimmer of hope to keep going, to the exit sign that you need to like turn left or right. I will show up. I will help you feel better and safer if you need it. I will help you connect to other archangels. Like I will support you. I felt like he was very passionate about that. You're a sign of the new reality unveiling and coming in. That's why you feel so heavy. Some of you might have like something connecting to like the autistic collective. I don't think all of you are autistic. And also, I can't diagnose you because I'm not a certified psychologist. Yes, I studied it, doesn't mean like I am certified though. I'm not. Even if when I say like, from my psychology side or whatever, that's because I studied it since I was a kid, and then I was getting, um, I was getting like diplomas in college and whatever for it going into university, but some stuff has happened, so I didn't get fully certified. That's just for anyone that's curious if they've heard it in other readings or will hear it in the future from me. But you might be connected to neurodivergency of some sort in some way. Some of it has not been discovered, and it doesn't need to be for you to be real in who you are and how you feel. If you're feeling weird as you're getting this reading, or you think I sound weird, that's because we're moving a lot of energy. I don't know what the fuck we're moving with this energy, but we're moving a lot of energy. It's very unpleasant. It's very spiky heart stuff. It's also very like a lot of anxiety and tension. I think this is like everyday living, feeling dangerous is how it's coming across. It's like anxiety when you just keep living with it that you don't notice it. It builds up to a break at some point and you actually have mental health issues out of nowhere. And then you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I thought I wasn't this or that or whatever. And you don't need a label for your mental health I don't want to say issues, mental health decline because of societal pressure or where you are being so unhealthy for you and uncomfortable, still having an effect and then creating mental health issues. It's like real health. If you live in unhealthy like environments, eventually you are going to develop real conditions, right? Whereas the same is with mental health especially. You might never notice how depressed, anxious, or other stuff you are until it builds up to a break, and then it creates a health like issue, a mental health issue. Excuse me. Or it creates like this mental health condition you've never had before. You might not even have the condition. It's just you've been coping and masking so well that it like built up to a break, is how it's coming across. And you were just not aware of you being that way because you were so good at just living your life and making it through it. Through it. You are a part of the new wave of reality and society and people being like a new wave of emotional beings coming into the planet. You are a very much important integral part of it. You don't need to be spiritual. You just need to be quirky, colorful, and unique as who you are. Even if it's like, when I say colorful, it doesn't need to be like you dress colorfully or you're like a personality that stands out or you're loud or like whatever we described. it is who you are, because I feel like this range is the whole entire rainbow, from people that are just goths and like punkers and whatever it is, to people that are loud mouth, whatever they are, unique people in that. LGBTQ, not LGBTQ, freaking cross dressers and all the rest. Like this is just the unique rainbow of like the minority in the community, in the styles, in the who you are and how you are. The unrepresented, unheard, or the people that just like stand out and like are like a sore thumb, and I are like neurodiverse diverse. I didn't want to say like neurodivergent, neurodiverse. You are a diverse group. Some of you are highly emotional, some of you are logically quirky and opinionated. Some of you are a mixed bag. Like all of you are very much unique and different. And it's just very vast. It's a general reading. I just feel like this is such a huge community, but you're creating this new foundation for people to be okay as they are and to find their new living in this new energy reality we're gonna hit. And it's going to be very much inclusive in like there's so many different shades of every possible color that you don't even know. Like we can't even register the whole color spectrum. We only have like three spheres of color, I don't know, perception as how I can name it. I don't know if they're called like color spheres, but three levels of color perception compared to I think the praying mantis might have 12 or something. I can't remember what animal has 12, but I think it might be the praying mantis. So this is the same thing. We are still coming up to the full range of color perception in our reality when it comes to people, their emotional and mental states, and their also unique expression of who they are as an individual and a sovereign being. And we are breaking through that from an old society that was suffocated by trauma and oppression and depression and torture of like literal just, like unchecked, unhinged personalities hidden just beneath the surface of an ego that's just flashy and smiley but is actually like a shark. There's a lot of sharks that have been a norm of society but have now lost a grip on it. And there's like a lot of people coming out of the woodworks of I was actually like this, I'm actually like this, etc. And this is like the new wave of people coming together as who all of us truly are, and then giving necessary attention and like presence for that instead of just being like, oh, you're weird, or oh, I'm scared of you just because of how you look, or oh, you're like a he, she, or whatever, right? And it's like, I'm much more than what I look like or what you label me to be. Why can't we be human and stay present and communicate instead of like it being this whole thing, right? It doesn't need to be that way. If you're not really understanding or conscious, that doesn't mean we can't have like a conversation. If you don't get me or I don't get you, doesn't mean we can't learn to understand each other. Like what's the problem here? Why does everyone need to fall into a column or abide by society's norms that doesn't even freaking fit everyone or doesn't even help anyone, right? Not even a single individual can be really helped by or supported by this limiting hue of beliefs of like this is what we all should be like. It just makes everyone miserable and gray. You're still coming up to this understanding. It's really hard for you to accept who you are and how you are. And I think we're going around in circles about the point of like how important who you are is in the grand scheme of things in society. And I think you will accept the point of how unique and important you are and that it can still provide a life. Revolution, one for all, unexpected, surprising developments. And star at the bottom reversed is like all just screaming to me like also go for an earnest enthusiasm. Like I'm shaking, like I'm scared And the more I talk in this reading, I feel more scared. I just keep feeling more scared, and I'm heating up like a fucking radiator. Look, you're okay to be who you are. It's safe now. It's not the same generation. It's not the same time. If you know that some people are not safe in your community, distance yourself from them. But don't say that you're unsafe. Don't say that to yourself. Maybe say like, yeah, I need to like be protective of my energy and I want to keep some things to myself just because, but also I am free to be who I am. I am free to explore my independence or identity within the freedom of me being who I am, right? I am free to explore my own role in society. I am free to express myself and be seen in the right spaces or places, and for that to then grow out and become a bigger thing, like more seen. I feel like some of you calmed down after I said that. It's okay to protect yourself, but it's also okay and important to let yourself shine as who you are. Because if you don't, you will be forgotten. And most importantly, it's not by other people, by yourself. You will lose a part of yourself you'll need to reclaim and rediscover eventually down the line. And because I think this is such a sensitive collective, in whatever way it is, mentally, emotionally, I don't know, like you're all unique. If you don't give yourself that presence, you will start developing these symptoms in a more like surreal way, in a more direct like physical way, like mental health, physical issues, pains, aches, emotional outbursts, emotional breakdowns more regularly, not feeling like you can cope with society. That's because you're not supposed to cope with society. You're meant to find your own unique niche. You're meant to find your own unique place where you're okay and society works for you. Even if you're outside of society, even if you've carved out a place of solitude for yourself, even though it's a bit maybe hard to transition and get there, you get there. You're fine. You find your peace and calm and tranquility and serenity. Maybe for some of you, it's like changing places. Maybe for you, it's like letting go of your friends or family. Maybe it's going out into the woods. Others of you, it's going into the city, out of the farmlands, out of the hood, out of the holler, out of the streets. Like you need to start cultivating your own safety in who you are is how it's coming across. Protect yourself, don't show it to everyone if you can't yet, but also give yourself space to explore it and be it because it needs to grow and it needs to like evolve because you've stuffed it down for too long and you've evolved counterintuitive to who you are. It's like you've developed to protect yourself and to be more spiky, and you can't be that way because you need to find your people, you need to find your place, you need to create that home, that community. And now I feel like I'm releasing energy. Now I feel like some of it is going away. Like it's okay, you know, maybe you need to say that to yourself like I'm not alone, I'm not like in danger, I'm okay, I am safe, I will find my place, I will find my home, I will find my people. I am safe to be who I am, and if I don't know who I am yet, it's okay. It's safe for me to discover that and to figure that out and realize that. Some of you are kind of like in your late teens and the world really feels and seems scary and like I don't know what to do. Don't worry, none of us did. None of us did in that age. But you get through it. It gets easier. The secret is like no one knows what the fuck they're doing. Everyone just says they do, and then acts and fronts it. It's like, what the fuck are you fronting when you don't have shit? It's all on the inside, and most people are rotten on the inside. There's many beautiful people outside, inside as well out there, but it's not who you think. it is. It's not the people that look like they have everything together and then they have hell going on behind closed doors. And you're gonna figure it out, just let yourself be free as who you are and who you were born to be, and don't worry about anything else. Neither like income, family, society, whatever it is. You'll figure it out, but maybe you need to like take a certain approach, that's a bit more supportive instead of just hiding and neglecting and attacking yourself and being afraid constantly. Because there's a path of love here, but you need to be ready in that state of mind before you can start driving that experience, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I heard that's enough. This was intense, I'm not gonna lie. My stomach is in knots. You need to chill the fuck out. You need to love yourself, chill out. I don't know who needs to hear this. Like, I give you permission to love yourself and just be yourself and know that I love you for who you are, no matter how fucking weird, neurodivergent, quirky, or something else you are. Yeah, you're saying, like, you're just saying that because whatever, and you don't even know me. Hey, if you don't harm anyone and you're just fucking odd and weird and an oddball or goofball, I love that. That's the type of person I am, and I feel like you really need to hear that. Um, Everyone starts somewhere, Like, you're already ahead of the curve because you're learning that you need to embrace yourself, and being weird isn't bad. If you're harming other people intentionally, I don't support that. But if you're just weird, you're fine. Just chill. And I don't care if you make other people uncomfortable. That's not actually hurting them. Usually people are uncomfortable because someone else is just being freaking uniquely them. And even if it's weird, it's not bad vibes weird. It's fine. I feel like some of you asked like what's bad vibes weird. Bad vibes weird is when you have like a sinking, negative, dangerous feeling, and that person turns out to be someone that is malevolent, that is harmful, that will hurt you. That's bad vibes I'm talking about. And none of you are that. None of you are that. Even those yeah, none of you are that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. This reading is concluded. I appreciate you spending your time. Please be yourself and like embrace yourself and support yourself and start talking in a positive manner and light to yourself. Eventually, you'll be okay to be seen by the world and you'll feel free and safe to actually go for your desires and your dreams. But currently, it is okay to also not be okay and to understand that you're just a part of a new generation that is feeling uncomfortable and like out of place, and that's a part of it, and you will get out of it, and you're gonna be rolling in your new life and your new experience and your new body when you feel like it. It's just about getting there inside and then living it outside. So stay safe, have fun, and I hope you're having a good day. And if not, just like cope through it the best you can. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you next time. Peace be with you.